Hey guys, this is Carlos. I'm going to show you a really cool application. I've been asked to show you how to make movies using an iPhone. So this is my room. It's a little bit of a mess, and I apologize for that. So what I'm going to do with the device, I'm going to tell this application called Filmic Pro to switch cameras to me. Now, you can see that this application is a little bit more robust that comes with the iPhone. The thing you want to do with this one is that you have total control as to all elements of the camera. Now, things that you can control is your focus. You can manually focus and your iris. The focus is here. You can zoom in and out. You can select focus or zoom. Using the selfie camera, though, you cannot focus. So if I switch it around, you'll have more capabilities. You'll also notice that here, you can set it up for really bright situations, or you can even set it up for really dark situations and adjust according to you. You have total control of your camera. You can use auto features, but it's really important that you know how to control the camera features so that you can have the best options in making the best representation of film on a phone. Now, here on this gear, you have control over your frame rate, your resolution, the cameras that you want to switch to. And like I pressed before, I'm using the iPhone 12 Max Pro Max, sorry. So you can see that it has all these different options. Now, the last option is something called double take. I'm not going to go into super detail as in terms of the application, because you can go in and play with it. There's plenty of videos out there that will show you step by step every feature of the phone. You'll also notice here, it's 24 frames a second at 4K. So you have filmmaking resolutions at filmmaking frame rates. And you can control that. You can make it 60 frames, 120 frames per second, 240, depending on your resolution on the phone and the camera that you have. Color temperature on the other opposite corner here. You have control over that. Now, the application does cost some money. I think it's like $30, but, check it out. It is the most powerful application that you can get for filmmaking on an iPhone. Now, other things you could do, the one I wanted to show you is this application here called Double Take. Now, Double Take does a really unique thing. Messages. I'm recording this all real time because they asked me to do a 15-minute video, and don't have time to do a 15-minute video, so we're going to do this really quick. Double Take is going to allow you to use the different elements of your camera. You can have access to two cameras on the phone simultaneously. So theoretically, if you are setting up a shot, and you know how you have to set up shots, you have medium shots, wide shots, close-ups, and sometimes you have to have the actor do it over and over again, so you can have the medium shot and the close-up, or the medium shot and the wide shot. Well, with this application, you have the ability of doing the close-up. Let's say this is the laptop. So that's a close-up. And then we'll have this one as the wide shot. Well, let's go not so wide. So we'll do that one and that one. So you got A and B, and then you can confirm. And when you confirm, what it's going to do is, even though you see picture-in-picture here, this is just so you can set up your shot. You'll also see that there's, these bars right here, these color waves. That's so that you know you're not too hot in terms of too much light or too little light and so on. But what's going to happen is the phone will record both cameras simultaneously. So what does that mean? That means that you're able to record the shot, the scene, once and get both the medium shot and the wide shot at the same time. Saves time, saves money, and look, you're using your phone. You don't even got time like that. You don't have money like that. This is a great way of saving some time. So let's go on to the next thing. How can you balance your phone? I'm going to show you what tool I use. Here, there's a website called DJI. They're very well known for doing drones, small drones and high-end professional drones. But since we're talking about mobile and iPhones, one of the best tools is something like the DJI Mobile 3 and the new mobile OM4. And they call it the Osmo, but this is the one that I have. I use the 3. And simply put, what it does is when you attach your phone to it, it takes care of stability, meaning that you have the ability of attaching your phone and you can stabilize the shot. You can probably be walking and the phone will be completely balanced, and in the shot you'll never notice that it's shaking. Also, the software is pretty good, so you can get some really creative shots using some of the features that are built into the software. But the key feature is that it'll stabilize the shot when you're walking, when you're turning, panning, and it has a little joystick so that you can actually control the direction that the camera is going in. Now, what's really powerful about that is you basically have cinematic capabilities in your phone. So you can see there. Now, that trigger on where her finger is, right there, that can also stop the phone and lock it in place, meaning your body could be completely turning around and the phone won't move. It is locked onto whatever it's staring at in position if you hold on that trigger. What's also cool is you can also have the phone use software. You can place the phone on a tripod. Maybe you're a one-man filmmaker. You can actually put the gimbal, it's called a gimbal, on a tripod. It has the tripod feature on the bottom. It has a powerful battery which lasts about 10 to 12 hours if you use it right. And you stand in front of the camera now, away from the tripod. And you can set up the recording, and you can then do a hand gesture where it'll then activate the automatic recording and follow. Because it has a motor to basically pan, tilt, and zoom, it will be able to follow you in your sequence of the shot without needing a cameraman. Very powerful for independent filmmaking. Other things you could do, the software that I just showed you before. All right, if you go back to Filmic Pro, there is a feature for the DJI. For example, you have stabilization right here on the bottom corner. It will then activate the stabilization features of the phone. There it is. The DJI right here, Osmo Mobile, when you activate that, you can actually use the features and the controls on the Osmo from within this application and have total control just by the remote features. It's controlled by Bluetooth. So that's a 2-for-1. You're getting 2 features in this application if you have the Osmo. Okay, so the next piece we're going to talk about is editing. So yes, you can shoot and edit the entire short film that you might be working on the phone. So I use an app called LumaFusion. And LumaFusion is phenomenal. The iPhone can actually record in 4K and even as far as the new phones doing HDR. And this was like a little shoot I did. Nothing spectacular, but it was basically a little walk around Brooklyn and all shot in 4K. And you can see that what we have is a full-blown video editor. Now I'm going to turn this sideways and I'll edit it so that it looks good when we do that. So here's our timeline on the bottom. You have your preview shot on the top right-hand side, and then access to all your videos and photos and things of that nature here. You'll notice that there's multiple lines here of audio and video that you can put on here. Technically, you could do 3 layers of video and about 2 or 3 layers of audio. And what's great about that is that you can edit and you can change your shots. So you can put video over video. You can do transitions, add effects. And if you double tap the video, you can even do a little bit of motion graphics. So they have templates for your motion graphics. On the bottom here, you can select frame and fit, which then allows you to do certain things. So you can practice and play with that. Again, I don't have a lot of time to go into each individual shot, but it has a lot of tools to work with. And when you do that, now it's part of your film. Now it's very playful. You can do a lot of different things, including on the bottom here, if you hit this little plus sign, you can add your voice, transitions, and overlays. The overlays are going to be very powerful because there, if you double tap there, you can add text, lower thirds, graphics, and you can bring in and import your own. There's also lots of resources online to get more graphics and more capabilities than even here. On top of that, one of the biggest things you could do on your shots, and I'm going to remove this because it's a little bit over the top for me, is, let's undo that, there we go, is you can go into your shot, double tap. You can also focus on color. So you have, first over here, you have your speed, so you can do slow-mo, but over here, you can have color. And you have total control of your brightness, saturation, vibrance, all that type of stuff. So you can change the mood of your film. There's even filters here. And there's lots of options. If you're doing anything with green screen, there will be a green screen overlay that you can add for chroma keying. I don't have any green screen here, so it's not really going to do anything. There's also LUT. So if you're a person that knows and are familiar with Final Cut and Premiere, it has LUT color corrections, and you can export the LUT to Final Cut or Premiere. For those who are confused about that, I'm so sorry. We are running out of time. You can see that there's plenty of tools on the bottom for linking, for changing the names of a shot or editing. There's even a special copy and paste clipboard. So you can do multiple different things with that. You can also save different things that you do, such as your color correction. It'll allow you to save what you've corrected so you can actually apply, using cut and paste, the color correction to multiple shots. And of course, the biggest awesome feature is the export. When you export, you have multiple options. An XML export, for example, and that will cost a little bit extra, will export your project to Final Cut or Premiere. But if you do movie, and let's say you export your movie to your own folder, here you can choose the resolution, including if you're doing anything for social media. So you can use the same content and create little trailers and clips for the purposes of social media. Here you have your frame rate, which is already locked in, and also the quality based on how you plan on exporting it or using it either on YouTube or any of those features. Built in also is the ability to just export to YouTube. You get the same kind of features, but it will have the color gamuts that YouTube are compatible with. Of course, I'm going to recommend wide gamut HDR 10 for the purposes of that. So you're going to do some research as far as all those features are concerned.